Formula 1 returns to Australia for the first round of the 2018 Formula 1 season. This was the first chance for all the teams to get out on track and unlock the true potential of their car and see if the lap times were as close as pre-season testing would suggest. Toro Rosso Honda looks set for a difficult opening race to the 2018 season, as both Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz's best laps in FP3 over 2.5 seconds off the front running pace. Williams BMW looked good over one lap, with both Robert Kubica and Josh Tiro setting competitive lap times. However, the 2016 World Champion looks to be struggling over long distance runs and will be looking to utilise the all-new ERS to his advantage in the race. McLaren Renault also a team struggling to get to grips with their new car, with both Carmen Jorda and Rio Harrington's best laps in practice in the lower midfield, and points looking like a rarity in his opening few rounds of the season. However, Sauber are a team absolutely elated with their newfound pace, with both Adrian Sutton and Charles Leclerc reckoning that they can take a double points finish come the race. But now, before we get into the qualifying report, following on board now with the home favourite, the Aussie Daniel Ricciardo, in the all-new Renault for one lap around the Australian Grand Prix, getting a good run here down into turn 1, so conditions were looking quite overcast towards the end of FP3 when every team was out doing their qualifying run, so maybe if this weather sticks around it could throw up something pretty interesting for the race. Now coming down now, heavy braking into turn 3, just misses the apex there slightly. I mean, the Renault, they claim they've made further progress up the grid, but still looks to be lacking maybe a little bit in downforce and running out a little bit wide once again, so maybe Ricciardo needs to stick a bit more wing on the car. Maybe he's trying to compensate too much down the straights, of course, because Renault are one of the teams that come to this opening round of the season not running ERS, along with McLaren, the other Renault powered team, along with Toro Rosso Honda and Red Bull Cosworth. So they're the teams not running ERS in this opening round of the season, so maybe the Renault and the other teams will have to be compensating a little bit on a little bit less wing to try and not be a sitting duck on the straight. Now coming into the high speed SS section, of course, there's also a third DRS section now coming up just about now to be the third activation point on that, so you get the start finish straight, the straight down from turn 2 into turn 3, and this point as well, this corner here, was being the third activation point on the lap. And then coming now into the final few corners of the lap, so the last definitely looks to have gone better for Ricciardo. It's gone, and I'm going to second to last corner, missing the apex there again just slightly. And then coming now around the final corner, keeping the throttle planted here around the final corner. Now then on the run now to the finish line. This is where we're using ERS, and indeed it had ERS now to the finish line. It's like a pretty tight lap for Daniel Ricciardo, maybe not the fastest. It's something definitely looks to build on come qualifying. And then talking of qualifying, Jean-Eric Vergne won't even get out of the garage to set a lap time. After a hydraulic leak with his power unit will leave him stuck in the garage, and he's joined on the back row with Carmen Jorda. Rio Haryanto in the other McLaren wouldn't go much further, and he completes row 9 along with Carlos Sainz in 17th in the Toro Rosso Honda. Yeah, Gasly in the other Toro Rosso again knocked out in Q1, and Adrian Sutil gets through into Q2 in the Sauber at the first time of asking. Paul Latt from Hulkenberg sees the German only line up in 14th, and he's joined on row 7 by Lawrence Stroll in the second of the Haas BMWs. Fabio Kobayashi starts from 12th in the Toyota, and Fernando Alonso wouldn't even get through into Q3, but was amazingly only 3/10 off the pole time, showing how close this season could well be. Lewis Hamilton gets through into Q3 in the Toyota, he lines up on row 5 along with home favourite Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault. Mick Schumacher lines up in 8th as the lead Haas, and an amazing lap from Charles Leclerc on his debut qualifying session sees the Monaco driver line up in 7th for Sauber. Pascal Wehrlein was left flying the flag for Mercedes in Q3 because it only managed 6th best on the grid, and Sebastian Vettel, the lead Ferrari, lining up in 5th. Max Verstappen lines up in 4th in the second Red Bull, with Robert Kubica lining up in 3rd as the second Williams. Danica Kvyat would just miss out on pole position by less than a 10th of a second, leaving first blood to go to 2016 World Champion Josh Tiro. Hey guys, Taro here. Welcome back to UniONE Korea, this time the start, round 1 of the 2018 season. I just want to say for this first round, apologies that there is no formation lap. I didn't realise that was actually a way you could turn that off, so I didn't realise it was turned off, so the formation lap will be back for the next race. So after we get our strategy here, we'll be straight into the race. So yeah, just fiddling around with the strategy before we actually started the race, because The default strategy was a 2-stop, and a 1-stop maybe looks possible. But that's definitely going a long way on the tyres. See, the tyres would be dead here at the end of both of the stints. And of course, since it's part of conditions, you can't really change anything. On the setup, they're starting from pole position, first time asking. First pole of the season. Then we've got the all-new Halo as well, but that won't affect us because we're still going to be showing here from TCAM. Now coming to the 5 red lights for the opening round of the 2018 season. Lights out and away we go. Can we get a good start from pole position? Got a team of Robbie Kubica right behind us. Actually now going to pull side by side with us now. On the Redondo, someone's going to go 3 wide also with Daniel Kvyat now under braking. We get forced out wide. It's like Kubica there just cuts in front of us. Now we're going side by side now with Max Verstappen in the other Red Bull. Now it's going to be a fight for the lead now between Daniel Kvyat and the BMW powered Williams of Robbie Kubica. Kubica's going to try and hold it around the outside line. Kvyat just tucks in position. Kubica goes from 3rd to 1st now. Down into turn 3. A great start there from our team. Not the best for us. We go from 1st to 3rd. We know race starts have never been our strongest points in the world. The top 2 were already gapping us, so much like last season when we had Sebastian Buemi as our teammate in the first race. Our teammate here at the start seems to be showing us up just as they usually seem to be doing. They got Verstappen, he managed to hold on to his P4 starting position, and then we've still got Sebastian Vettel at P5. And now coming under heavy braking now at the start of the second sector, we get a good under braking. So braking is something we've always been good under. And looking back now at Max Verstappen in the Red Bulls, actually falling away quite a bit because I think he was going side by side earlier on in the lap with Sebastian Vettel. Of course, through these corners here, this will be where the Red Bulls gain time. Of course, I'm going to show you get Bernard Grasser running out a little bit wide, but down this straight here, which will be a DRS straight come lap 3. This is where Verstappen could be under threat, maybe from Sebastian Vettel, or indeed the Mercedes behind of Pascal Wehrlein. And now then coming away now through the final sector of the lap. And you've still got Charles Leclerc here on his F1 debut, the reigning GP2 champion, which has now become Formula 2. And he's in the Sauber, he's showing his pace is genuine. He's keeping it on the back of a works Mercedes AMG. Of course, Mercedes have designed a lower drag car than last year, so he won't be maybe as good through the corners, but it'll be a rocket in a straight line. I imagine that's what the Sauber will be as well, designing their car around low drag. And coming down now into turn 1, and if Leclerc can keep up this kind of pace when he gets DRS, he might be able to make a move on Pascal Wehrlein, maybe in some of the other cars up in front. You can see that Sauber's absolute rocket ship in a straight line, keeping up with Pascal Wehrlein, no problem, even in the dirtier. So whatever Alfa may have done with that car definitely seems to be working now, moving a bit further onto the same lap. Pascal Wehrlein now dropped away completely now from Sebastian Vettel, and everyone else in front. We've got Charles Leclerc now trying to eye him. There's going to pull side by side now with Pascal Wehrlein. Going to try to go around the outside now. All the Mercedes going into the high speed chicane. Going to be side by side now with the Germans squeezes out Wehrlein. Great move there from Charles Leclerc. It looks like Wehrlein's guy gets a bit flustered from that. Now Lewis Hamilton in the Toyota is going to try and go around the outside now off Pascal Wehrlein, coming out into the final sector lap. Going to be 2008 world champion versus someone who's hoping to be the 2018 world champion. Going to try and hold it now around the outside, and a great move there also from Hamilton to make him move around the outside there of Pascal Wehrlein. And now it means that Wehrlein could possibly now be under threat from Mick Schumacher in the lead of the Hasses. Now it's come now around the final corner, and Wehrlein's even falling away now from Lewis Hamilton. So now Mick Schumacher, even without DRS, can be using the ERS now to his effect now up the inside line. Now coming down and braking for turn 1, Wehrlein's going to try and hold around the outside line, but just keeps his nose in. But Mick Schumacher there on the racing line to get better traction. Now actually you've got Fernando Alonso, Wehrlein's teammate, trying to make a move now on Pascal Wehrlein. So Wehrlein must have some kind of car issue now. Going to break enough turn 3. Lock on there from Wehrlein is contact. The two Mercedes make contact. Now Alonso's going to try and hold it now around the outside line, which then turns to the inside. Doesn't look like Alonso got any damage from that contact, but Wehrlein's going to try and keep his nose in up the inside. Coming out of the corner now, Wehrlein has to settle in behind Fernando Alonso. Alonso's starting on his set of the super soft tyres, so it looks like Alonso is definitely going to be trying a one-stop in this race. And Pascal Wehrlein definitely looks to have some kind of problem with his car. I mean, Australia hasn't been the best race in the world for Mercedes. Going on the pass also well, but now he's got the lead Renault of Daniel Ricciardo, of course the home favourite now coming behind, and how good will this do be for the Renault morale to overtake works Mercedes at the first race, whether it has issues or not. Now Ricciardo's going to pull to the outside now off Pascal Wehrlein, now coming up now into the high speed. He's going to try and make the same move that Charles Leclerc did on the previous lap. He can try and make a move around the outside, and then once again a great move from Daniel Ricciardo. Now once again Wehrlein just falling further and further down the order. Now he's got to deal with the Toyota now of Kamui Kobayashi. Going down to braking, and now Kobayashi going to try and make the same move on Wehrlein that his teammate Lewis Hamilton did on the previous lap. I think Kobayashi was also on the harder side. He's going to try and hold it now around the outside. Coming into the third to last corner, he's just slotting there behind Pascal Wehrlein. Just hasn't got the downforce and the grip on the harder tyres to keep the move there around the outside. But now then, coming down the straight, surely if that Wehrlein's having problems with his car, then he should be sitting duck in the straight line now with DRS and probably even ERS as well. Kamui Kobayashi now going to pull to the outside now of Pascal Wehrlein, coming down now into turn 1 right around the outside. A great move there also from Kobayashi. We're seeing a lot of outside overtakes in the first few laps here of the race, and now And of course it's a double DRS end as well, but now Pascal Wehrlein's going under threat now from the second half of Lance Stroll, and Stroll's going to try and hold it now around the outside because Stroll also on the harder tyres. Then turns to the inside for the next corner, and Stroll makes the move, and it carries on like this. Pascal Wehrlein could find himself at the back of the grid. It carries on like this, but now on to lap 4. We're still holding on now to our P3 position. Got Max Verstappen though. It's going to be pulled away a little bit, so we're in an effective no man's land of our own. We've still got Robert Kubica holding on to lead, absorbing the pressure brilliantly from Daniel Kvyat, of course, because the Red Bulls don't have ERS, so they don't have that boost of straight line speed. Actually got yellow flags though coming around the final corner, and Robert Kubica, oh no, God believe it, engine failure in the first race of the season for our team, Robert Kubica. You can see him here, Robert Kubica is smoking away down the pitch, going about 5 miles an hour. As they see on board here from everyone else just coming past now our teammates and come now down into turn 1. Kubica there from the lead of the race. Oh, this race is so cruel. Whereas Pascal Wehrlein's having issues, Robert Kubica's had even more issues because he retired from the race. And now you've got Sebastian Vettel actually chasing down after Charles Leclerc. Leclerc at some point has actually overtook 5-time world champion Sebastian Vettel. Leclerc, I don't know what the Sauber have done, but he's done an absolute mad one in this race. He has to come on down to lap 5. Now we're up into second place, given that our team is out of the race, so Daniel Kvyat's now just freely just running away with the lead. So the air on that chassis on the new Red Bull RB14 working a treat. We missed the final corner there, second last corner there a little bit, missed the apex a little bit because the tyre wears will start to be kicking in now. And we've got Max Verstappen now right behind us. Of course, these Cosworth powered Red Bulls don't have ERS, but even with DRS now, I'm imagining a bit of low drag as well. Verstappen with pull to our inside now, coming down now into turn 1. Verstappen makes the move on us even before we get to turn 1, so a clean move there from a Dutchman, but now coming down now into the second straight because it's a double DRS line, so we won't even have DRS now to try and come back now at Max Verstappen, and now then coming down into turn 3, who's still not close to trying to make a move back at the inside, but now we've got to worry about maybe even defending from Charles Leclerc in the Sauber. I mean, he must be running that engine on max or something, because no way that Sauber is this going to be. And they came into the final race of 2017 with funds having run completely dry, and whatever they've done with Alfa Romeo and Ferrari over the winter look to have worked absolute miracles. It looks like they've catapulted themselves on the back of the grid, up into maybe even up into what will be a podium position as things stand, with Charles Leclerc coming up behind us now, coming in now. Doesn't make a move on us there, so a good head, wise head already on Charles Leclerc, pretty much proving why he was so dominant in Formula 2 last season. Now Leclerc's going to pull side by side with us. He's going to try and make the same move on us they did on Pascal Wehrlein back at the start of the Grand Prix, and now Leclerc's trying to hold it out around the outside. He runs out a bit wide, he just hasn't quite got the downforce to try and stick it around the outside. He loses the place back there to Sebastian Vettel, but now Leclerc doesn't even have DRS because the detection point he was in front of us. And they're coming down now into the start of the third sector. Leclerc has to get a bit defensive, and we'll start worrying about Lewis Hamilton in the Toyota behind him. Now we've got a bit of a gap though to Sebastian Vettel. Now they should be coming into the pits though at the end of this last, so it doesn't even matter. Now then, coming in now into the final corner, indeed we are coming now into the pits, and they've got Max Verstappen who carries on for another lap. Don't know about Daniel Kvyat because he's just so far in front already. You've got a whole train of cars up behind him there, Sebastian Vettel, Leclerc, Hamilton, Mick Schumacher, and then everyone else behind, everyone else is released. Now we're coming in for our first of 2 starts, so we're committing now to this 2-star strategy, going to a set. First set of super soft tyres, we're going to another set at our second stop. Presumably as things stand, but there's absolutely no one else in the pit lane, so it looks like we're the ones calling the shots here and maybe doing something on the pit strategy. So I know we're coming out in no man's land of our own. We've actually got one of the McLaren, so we're definitely coming out near the back of the grid. Like we've got our car there coming down behind us as well, so we're not in dead last place, but we're in 17th. We've got Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault behind us, so it's like Ricciardo maybe pitted even earlier than what we did, and we're going for an even more aggressive 2-stop strategy maybe. But now we've got to try and catch up to two Carmen Jordan, moving a lap later on now to lap 8, feel like a bit further on. Now caught up to the McLaren of Carmen Jordan. Of course that McLaren, it's McLaren Renault, but the chassis in that McLaren was built around a Honda engine. I think we just had to cut bits out to fit what will be the new Renault engine as we go purple there through the first sector, but given everyone's such fresher tyres and everyone else around us, it's not really surprising that we did go purple. We are though catching up to Carmen Jordan now under heavy braking now. Actually got one of the Ferraris there up in front, so either that's Sebastian Vettel who's already stopped and jumped us. I get the feeling more there's actually Jean-Eric Verne in the Ferrari, because Verne's sorted in last place. I mean, if Ferrari have worked and improved their reliability, but they didn't really look to have done much for him in the first race of the season. We're going to get a bit of a horrible run there through the essay session, getting a whole whack of dirty air from the back of that McLaren in front of us. And they're coming up now under braking now for the start now of the third sector, and pretty much have to stay behind Carmen Jordan over here, because this place, as we've seen so far, you can make an overtake through here, but you really need to be going side by side with the car in front through the sector to make it work. And coming up to the final corner now, not close enough to the back of Carmen Jordan to make a move, but now we get DRS boost now down the start finish straight. You know how down that McLaren is on straight line speed because the Renault engine doesn't have ERS. Now Jordan, she's going to get defensive to the inside line. She does. Where we go even more to the inside line. There's Sebastian Vettel coming out of the pace. It's a good job. We went just a little bit further back. So that could be a nasty crash if we're coming out side by side there with Sebastian Vettel out of the pit lane. And then we can try and gain now on the Toro Rosso in front. It's actually still got DRS on the back. I was trying to advance and maybe Vance having some kind of car troubles as well. Because you think that a Ferrari, the defending constructors and then the defending drivers champion, will be a lot faster than a Toro Rosso, which is 2.5 seconds off of the pace over one lap. Now we're all over the back now of this Toro Rosso coming down into the start of the second sector, not quite close enough to make a dive up the inside there of turn 6. And I'm still all over the back now of this Toro Rosso, actually of Carlos Sainz. So Sainz currently running in P12, so if the race ended right now, then this would be a point position for Carlos Sainz. We're getting low there on the braking, got so much more downforce, again we've got fresher tyres, we've got so much more grip, so much more everything that makes this car better than a Toro Rosso Honda. We're coming up now this straight, coming up this curve straight, coming up now to the high speed chicane. Actually got side by side, actually now got Sebastian Vettel going side by side with Carmen Jordan. Jordan's going to try holding his line, there's a little bit of contact there. Jordan having to get a power slide to avoid spinning herself out, which makes it a mistake. Now we're looking, try and make a move now on Carlos Sainz. Going to try and make a move inside, just get the door closed on us there by Carlos Sainz. Of course, Sainz make or break season for the Spaniard now in his third and final year with Toro Rosso. Now all over the back now, Carlos Sainz got so much more overspeed. Make a dive on the inside though of the Toro Rosso into the ultimate corner and make a nice move there on the Toro Rosso. And also Sainz got a bit flustered there, he lost quite a bit of space to us now, which could go about half a second, maybe even a second up behind us. And now the Toro Rosso now at the mercy of 5-time world champion Sebastian Vettel coming down now into turn 1 of Vettel. Doesn't quite go from me because the Toro Rosso does have DRS as well. Imagine running a mega low drag setup as well to make up for the straight line speed deficit with the Honda engine. But now they're all over the back now. Oh, Jean-Eric Vergne going to pull to the inside of defending world champion Jean-Eric Vergne in the Ferrari. Going to make the move inside, you can squeeze the Frenchman out wide as well. And we get up now surely back into the points places now, but still got a lot of cars in front of us yet to make their pit stops. And we get up now into P9. You see we're using all the track and then some. And we've got Max Verstappen in front of us on a set of soft tyres. So Verstappen looks like he's trying a one-stop in that Red Bull. As you've seen from the graph there at the start of the race, your tyres will be absolutely dead if you go for a one-stop. So even with making a two-stop, there wasn't much between the two strategies either. So taking a look now at the running order, we've got Daniel Kvyat in the Red Bull in an absolute world of his own, leading the Grand Prix from his teammate Max Verstappen, and what difference the season can make. Remember back to last season, the Red Bulls were pretty much 5th and 6th nowhere already. Now they're leading 1-2. And we've got us in 3rd on a set of super soft tyres. We've still got to make another stop though, so we might not be here in a legit position for the time being, but it won't be after we make a second stop. Then we've got Sebastian Vettel in 4th. And we've got Mick Schumacher in the Haas doing a great job in P5, also on a set of soft tyres. So you got the lead Mercedes of Fernando Alonso in P6. So Alonso may not got through into Q3, but he's definitely got some good race pace. Then we've got the two Toyotas Linus there, and I think we've got Lewis Hamilton in front of his teammate Kamui Kobayashi. Of course, both their helmets though still look so similar, they can't really tell the difference between them. Then we've got the lead Renault, who's actually Nico Hulkenberg. So yeah, he is indeed Nico Hulkenberg. So I don't know what's happened to Daniel Ricciardo, he's just so far behind, I can't even see him at this point yet. Then we have Charles Leclerc in the side, but he's dropped back a little bit from his earlier run pace, but still currently in a points position. I think along with Pierre Gasly is also on the fringes of the points places as well. As things stand, we're coming under pressure though from Pascal Wehrlein in the Mercedes, so it looks like whatever's wrong with Wehrlein's car in the early stages of the race is like it's been fixed. That is all over the back now of the Toro Rosso Honda coming down. It's like Gasly goes defensive to the inside line. Of course, this is Gasly's second season now in Formula 1, so he can't call him a rookie anymore, so he's had a few years in Formula 1, but so is Pascal Wehrlein as well. And Wehrlein's gaining on the back now of Pierre Gasly. He's going to try and go around the outside, but Gasly there with a very aggressive move there to block off Pascal Wehrlein. They're moving in the braking zone, that may be something that the shoes look at in the future. And going to look for the inside, and once again he's closing the door, so Wehrlein they're being have to make a very aggressive overtake now, try and go around the outside now off Pierre Gasly. Gasly's playing very aggressively, because still going to try and hold it out up the inside line. Toro Rosso versus Mercedes, and Wehrlein just drives straight around the outside. Pretty much, I guess, learned that move from Lewis Hamilton when he pulled it on him on the second lap of the race. We have Lance Stroll quite a bit further down from his teammate Mick Schumacher, but the Australian Grand Prix never has been the best race in the world for Lance Stroll. Then we have the second of the Saubers of Adrian Sutter, and then we have Daniel Ricciardo all the way down here. So Ricciardo must have had some kind of nightmare in the race here, along with Jean-Eric Vergne, who's having a complete nightmare start to the season as well. Even if he's doing a one-stop, he's so far behind everyone else, he must have had some sort of problem in his pit stop or something. Then we have the second here of the Toro Rossos of Carlos Sainz, and then we have one of the McLarens actually of Carmen Jordan. So Jordan gaining in the DRS, because the McLaren, it won't have the very good chassis, but it definitely has a slight power advantage over the Toro Rosso in front of it. Moving on now to lap 17, so pretty much not a lot happened really in that second stint. We've got Sebastian Vettel though gaining on the back of us. I mean, of course our tyres will wear out quicker than his because we're on their super soft compared to his soft tyres. Now then coming around the second to last corner, it's actually time for us to come in now for our second stop now of the Grand Prix. Just like a lot of the fun when we had a run through of all the cars, it was like we're pretty much the only ones trying to do this two-stop strategy. So we're going to have easily the freshest tyres to come back at everyone, but it just depends now, have we got enough laps to come back at everyone. Now we're going to another set now of the super soft tyres. There's no one else in the opinion. Actually there's a car coming in behind us, so it's like we're not the only one on this strategy, but it looks like the one stop maybe just like the favourite strategy from everyone else. So now then coming back out now, actually got one of the Saubers in front of us. So is that Charles Leclerc or is that Adrian Sutil? Can't quite tell from this camera angle which of the Saubers actually is in front of us. Either way though, we still got to catch them regardless, and they're on a set of soft tyres either way, so I think we should be able to catch up to them. And moving on to lap 19, 10 laps of the race left to go. We're in 12th place, so we're in the points places, and it is indeed Adrian Sutil. It's time for us because this is Sutil's final season. He's already admitted this, so then you're just going to want to try and have a bit of fun in his final season. In front of him, got Gianni Vanni 13th, not even in the points, open a nightmare race for the defending world champion. As we put up now the fastest lap of the race, that's not really surprising since we're on a set of super soft tyres. And then coming now through turn 1 and 2, we're going to have DRS now on the back of the Sauber, but the Sauber with its low drag and ERS as well, going to be an absolute rocket ship in a straight line, trying to make a move to the inside of Adrian Sutil. We're coming into the brakes now for turn 3, just not quite close enough. Pretty much Sauber look like they've gone in effect back to 2015, designing a low drag car getting all over the gearbox of that Sauber. I mean, this Sauber does look really nice from behind with the red Alfa Romeo paint job, but I don't really want to be behind the Sauber for too much longer to admire it. He's going to pop through the first set, gets squeezed by Adrian Sutil. I mean, maybe his final season in Formula 1, but he's not giving me any quarter here. It's pretty much like he's done his entire racing career. I mean, he has been a great driver in pretty much all his career, really. He has really extracted the limits from these Saubers. It's a shame he never really got a top drive, and he's still yet to find the podium finish, so if he keeps driving like this, and I hope for his sake that he can get a podium finish in this season. Either way though, we still need to get past this Sauber Alfa Romeo in front of us. Try and make a move further, try and get up now into 11th place. And going to get DRS now on the back of Adrian Sutil. Sutil going to try and get that line. We're going to make a move to the inside line. Sutil moves to the inside of the track, trying to squeeze the Sauber. A huge lock up there from the German. It means a valiant effort there from Sauber. From the Sauber there of Adrian Sutil. I mean, points for effort, definitely. Either way now, to get up now into 11th place. Sutil though, he's still in the points place, of course, because we have a top 12 point system in the UniONE career. Now we can try and chase down now after Lawrence Stroll in the Haas, who's in a near no man's land of his own. We're moving all the way onto lap 27. It took us this long to actually catch up to the back of Lawrence Stroll, and it's this whole queue of cars being led here by Toyota. It's like you've got one of the Renaults in here, and the other side of Charles Leclerc as well. But they get away from us a little bit because our tyres will start to be going off, but everyone else's tyres should be going off as well. So in effect, the wear across all of our tyres should be the same. You get a nice run there through the chicane though, then give it over the curb. Now we've got DRS. Now we've got it's like Kamui Kobayashi leading this train of cars. He goes defensive to the inside line. From Nico, a huge lock on there though from Kamui Kobayashi. Back on track. Now also a huge whack there on the Haas, and the Haas is going slow. You can just avoid him. Got a moving chicane. And you just managed to get past both of them. It's like Charles Leclerc, as you know, of course, it's Adrian Sutil. It's like, is that the Haas pulling off the side of the track? See, then this is the Haas is pulling off the side of the track. They're absolutely nowhere to be seen. Looking at a replay of what just happened here to Lawrence Stroll, he just pulled off the side of the track, I'm pretty sure. He got the DRS on the back of Charles Leclerc in the Sauber, and he takes an absolute whack from Kobayashi to pretty much bring back his nickname of Kobayashi from the 2010. He gets a huge whack from the Toyota. I mean, imagine he hasn't got a punch or anything. Imagine that must have just like broke the suspension or something in the steering, and then that's the end though of his race. And now moving on to lap 28, back to the live action. We're all over the back now of Charles Leclerc here in the Sauber. Of course, Leclerc's had an absolutely mega debut race. And if he carries on like this, surely it won't be too long until he's in a Ferrari seat if he keeps on putting in performances like this. Leclerc though still all over the back though of that Renault. I mean, he's gapped. The Renault of Hulkenberg's gaps Leclerc a little bit. We've still got Kamui Kobayashi liver, so it's like Kobayashi hasn't actually took any damage from that whack with Lawrence Stroll. As we come now through the high-speed chicane now for the penultimate time, getting a nice line, getting the power planted. Getting this car really is working with us now on these lighter fuel loads. We know this Williams is good on low fuel, but it's not the best on long run pace. Now coming into the final sector lap, we're not quite close enough to make a move on Charles Leclerc coming into the session. Now coming up now through the third from last corner, now trying to make a dive with the inside into the corner, and just not quite close enough there to make a move on Charles Leclerc. As you get a bit of a power slide down the exit, trying to put the power down a bit to where he's asking a bit too much of the car. Like we get DRS now. Charles Leclerc putting the ERS a bit high, using all this newfound electrical power to our advantage. Of course, Charles Leclerc in the Sauber also has Ferrari ERS as well. don't know which ERS is probably going to be better. We're getting a great run out of turn 1 all over the back now of this Sauber of a shoulder clerk. Now we're gaining in the DRS. And which way you're going to go? You're going to fade to the left. And you're going to move to the inside now. Oh, shoulder clerk, do the dummy. On shoulder clerk's going to try and hold it out around the outside line. We just managed to squeeze out the Monaco driver. Leclerc may well be the reigning GP2 champion, but he's not a Formula 1 world champion, so he's still got a long road to go and still got a lot to learn now. Sure, he has to turn his attention now to defending from the Toyota of Kamui Kobayashi now, right to behind you now as we come through the side of the second. That's quite a few scrapes there on the side. So Leclerc's definitely been in the wars today. But now, this is looking at now at Daniel Kvyat in the Red Bull. This is how far in front Daniel Kvyat is. Now, it's coming up now, round the final corner now. For the final time, Red Bull went without a win for the whole of the 2017 season. And now Daniel Kvyat is going to come across the line now to win the Australian Grand Prix. And there's going to be a lot of relief for the Red Bull camp, taking an early victory. And pretty much an early dominant victory as well for the Russian. Now we're still gaining out on the back of Nico Hulkenberg coming in fast. I think we go for a dive inside, and we're just not quite close enough. And we still easily got the straight line speed over that Renault. We're just a little bit too far behind Hulkenberg now, coming now through the final few corners of the lap. Surely there's not going to be any place for us. We're running a bit wide on the ground. We're trying to push the car to its limits. Now they come around the final corner, still not quite close enough. And coming out around the final corner, we know we've got the speed advantage now, coming up to the finish line with DRS and ERS now for the final time. We're coming up to the finish line, we're not quite close enough coming up to the finish line, are we? No. We have to settle for P8. From pole position down to P8. The strategy definitely wasn't the best, and we seem to have some encouraging pace there, but definitely need to work on our strategy. So yeah, Christian Horner looking absolutely ecstatic with his team's victory. I mean, he was very vocal about his team's chances for the championship in this season. And it looks like that statement is coming true at this first race as Daniel Kvyat in the Red Bull takes victory, and it's the first victory for a Cosworth powered car since 2003, back with Fizzy Keller in the Jordan, although it was badged as Ford. Taking a look at the race results, it'll be Daniel Kvyat to take victory ahead of his teammate Max Verstappen. It'll be a Red Bull 1-2, with Verstappen finishing just over 4 seconds behind his teammate. Sebastian Vettel rounds off the podium for Ferrari, with Fernando Alonso with a great recovery drive to get up into P4 as the lead Mercedes. A great drive from Mick Schumacher sees the German finish in 5th in Haas, with Lewis Hamilton coming home in 6th in the much improved Toyota. Nico Hulkenberg comes home in 7th, with us in 8th, Charles Leclerc in 9th, and Kamui Kobayashi rounds off the top 10 and didn't get a penalty for that collision, so the shoes must have seen that as a racing incident. Adrian Sutil gets points in the Sauber, also with 11th, and Jean-Eric Vergne, the championship leader, rounds off the points places in 12th. Mercedes may have fixed Furlan's car, but it was too little too late, as the German could only manage 13th and out of the points, with Pierre Gasly coming home in 14th in the Toro Rosso Honda. A dismal race from Ricciardo sees the home favourite only come across the line in 15th, with Carmen Jorda coming home in 16th, Carlos Sainz in 17th, and Lance Stroll still classified down in 18th as 2 laps down. And both Ria Haryanto and our teammate Robbie Kubica retired from the opening race of the season. Now moving on to the points, I'll only show the top 12 for this race, but from the future races I will show the bottom half as well, because it's the first race of the season. The points are the same either way, so just to get a quick reminder here of the point system. So Daniel Kvyat leads on 20 points, with Max Verstappen in 2nd on 15, Sebastian Vettel 3rd on 12, Alonso 4th on 10, Mick Schumacher in 5th with 8, Hamilton 6th with 7, Hulkenberg 7th with 6, then Weir in 8th with 5, Leclerc in 9th with 4, Kobayashi 10th with 3, Sutil 11th with 2, and Jean-Eric Vergne riding off the point scorers from the first round of the season. And moving on to the constructor standings, and this is where things start to get interesting. With Red Bull taking maximum points, they already have a 22 point gap over the Scuderia here in 2nd on 13 points. And you have a joint for 3rd, but with on virtually a better result with Alonso's result here today. Mercedes are in 3rd on 10 points, with Toyota in 4th also on 10. Haas are in 5th with 8, then Renault are in 6th with 6, again ahead on better results with Hulkenberg, and Sauber in 7th also on 6 points. And after one race, Sauber have already equalled their points from last season. Then we have Williams all the way down in 8th place on the 5 points that we scored in this race. Then we have Toro Rosso and McLaren yet to go off the starting blocks. So remember to vote for your driver of the day with the poll link down in the description. Also check out the Wikia page for this season, and all the drivers and the teams as well that gets updated after every single race. So if you fancy a nice read, definitely go and check that one out. Definitely also leave a like if you enjoyed this race and if you're hyped for this 2018 season, as I know I definitely am. Also leave a like on this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads, so you don't miss out on any of this season or any of my other videos. Remember to check out my Discord server, which will be linked in the description down below, along with my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so definitely go follow me on all of those as well. So thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.